Formula One defines the apex of motorsport. It's a race of accuracy fought across the world's most uncompromising tracks. From aerodynamic precision to tire wear, here, every detail talks of a battle against the laws of momentum. 20 drivers and 10 cross-continent teams insanely chase a championship where margins are measured in milliseconds. Let's live that adrenaline rush for the next few minutes and understand the unique story of man and the machine, which truly separates the great from the fast. The highest category of open-wheel, single-seater racing in international motorsport. That's how F1 can be defined. The sport is atypical. It calls for calculation when vision blurs, resilience when instincts mislead, and precision when certainty disappears. Since the first World Championship race in 1950, F1 has been the ultimate test for drivers, engineers, and innovation. The pursuit has never slowed. It has evolved, only to push the limits of what humans and machines can achieve together. Each car is engineered for maximum aerodynamic efficiency, balance, and mechanical performance under extreme conditions. The series is sanctioned by the FIA, the governing body responsible for maintaining technical and sporting regulations. Competitions take place across multiple continents, visiting purpose-built circuits and temporary street tracks. Across Monaco's lean streets, Spain's panoramic forests, and Singapore's glowing night skyline, victory demands fortitude few ever experience. Each team, officially known as a constructor, designs and builds its own chassis according to strict regulations. Every constructor fields 2 cars. A separate and contracted driver operates each throughout the season. Drivers compete for the Drivers' Championship. Like in any other sport, individuals who collect the most points steal the show and land the award. On the other side of the spectrum, constructors pursue the Constructors' Championship. That is judged based on the combined points which the drivers amass together for their team. In every season, there are typically 24 events. They are officially known as Grand Prix. Every year, the season starts from February or March and ends in December. Race locations are vividly varied in F1, from classic European tracks to new venues in Asia, the Americas, and the Middle East. The world witnesses the vigor and speed in the fiercest form. Based on finishing positions, they award the points. For example, a Grand Prix winner receives 25 points, while lower placements score descending values down to 1 point. Teams can also score additional points for the fastest laps, but those come only when the driver finishes in the top 10. Sprint events at select weekends offer further points opportunities. They impact both individual and team standings. Formula One calls for unusual engineering excellence and out-of-the-ordinary driver reflexes, clever tire management, avant-garde fuel efficiency, and a tremendous weather adaptation zeal are needed to win. Mechanical reliability is also pretty crucial. Even trivial component failures can cost crucial points and sometimes entire championships. Each Grand Prix is a standalone event. However, the consequences of one event linger for upcoming ones. When the season ends, the highest-scoring driver and team proudly wear the World Champion crown, which they receive at the FIA Prize Gala. In 1950, on the battered runways of Silverstone, the first chapter of Formula One was written. The cars were heavy, the tracks uneven, and protection almost an afterthought. Speed was sought without a definitive understanding of its consequences. Juan Manuel Fangio rose from this raw beginning. He could effortlessly master machines that required instinct more than calculation. His reign is considered the standard setter. The legend made the world learn how brilliance could be measured against danger and courage against mechanical unpredictability. Then came the 1960s. This is when engines started moving behind the drivers, lowering the center of gravity and changing racing forever. Aerodynamics stepped in. Initially, it was unnoticed by spectators, but gradually, it changed the way cars clung to the tarmac, However, each innovation came at a cost. Circuits that had once welcomed bravery now punished it brutally. The deaths of drivers like Jim Clark forced the sport to look inward and rethink survival itself. The 1970s carried this evolution further. Materials became lighter, and ground effect aerodynamics stole the spotlight. What machines and man could endure became evident with the ultimate engineering audacity. The Renaissance touched every aspect of the sport. Previously, only engines and tires used to hold the weight. But around this time, safety barriers, medical crews, and reinforced cars became equally important. Then came the 1980s. This period unshackled potency hardly anyone had seen before. Turbocharging came into play. Those engines could generate explosive power and hurl drivers to nearly impossible speeds. Skill became survival. Drivers started to control 1,000 horsepower machines through corners that once demanded half that. And amidst this insane power gush, competition kept on growing fiercer. Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost didn't drive for the sake of the game, but to prove dominion. In this pursuit, one day, they collided, and that incident told the world that F1 has reached its boiling point. Television transformed Formula One into global theatre. Every duel, every heartbreak, every narrow escape was broadcast across living rooms and continents. The 1990s refined the hype. Telemetry, simulation, and data became the new norms. Legendary drivers like Michael Schumacher were from this era. Ruthless, disciplined, calculating, and faster than history had prepared for. Moving on to 2000 to 2004, it will be better to call it the Schumacher and Ferrari era. Combinedly, the German driver and the legendary Scuderia camp literally rewrote the definition of triumph and mastery in organized sports. But with mastery comes change. FIA introduced new rules, which made teams curb excessive spending and standardize electronics. 2014 introduced another big change. Hybrid technology replaced the old scream of V8s with the layered complexity of electric energy recovery. Mercedes led that change. Others struggled to cope, but the Silver Arrows perfected battery management, turbo efficiency, and chassis balance. Lewis Hamilton used to be the team's talisman then. He perfectly used this mastery to land sequential titles and recreate history. When the hybrid era ended, a new challenger sprung up. Max Verstappen, fearless, smart, and young, showed up, only to impede the hierarchy. On the other hand, off-track, Netflix's Drive to Survive peeled back the layers. The series made team politics, personal struggles, and unseen drama public. Millions who had never watched a Grand Prix now found themselves invested in battles fought at 300 kilometers an hour. Manufacturers like Audi and Cadillac saw a new future in this growing world, a platform bigger than ever before. Today, Formula One is no longer only an engineering contest. It is a global narrative of survival, innovation, and ambition, written and rewritten every race weekend. Before the first engine fires, 10 teams prepare to survive a season that will test everything. Factories hum through winter nights, only to chase fractions of performance that may never appear on race day. Each constructor builds not only a car, but a belief that this year the fight will be theirs. Granted, the guidelines are universal in F1, but the solutions that each team keeps on inventing secretly in their garage are exceptionally unique. Ferrari is the oldest team. The Scuderians' legacy was born with the sport itself in 1950. Yes, those scarlet cars and Tifosi's passion have seen many winning smiles, defeating tears, and tireless reinvention. Another crucial contender, McLaren's story, is a little different. The team worships grit and innovation. Bruce McLaren in 1963, and since then, it has witnessed historic wins and unexpected falls. From Senna's glories to modern battles for an upturn, The team's journey has been vivid. Coming to the story of Williams, the team's workshop dream took the form of a dynasty. It led the F1 technical precision movement through the 1980s and 1990s. Today, the team is on a silent errand of getting back to glory. Mercedes was all over there in the F1 scene for quite a few years. They literally made an empire, and their dominance was a masterclass in preparation, talent acquisition, and execution. Red Bull Racing changed that balance. The team was seemingly born to reshape modern Formula One, the so-called outsider brand turned factory giant. Each season, the grid realigns and hopes rejig. This pursuit of new beginnings brought Aston Martin to the race. This growing team is sharpening its ambition with fresh investment and smart technical recruits. Not far behind, Alpine strengthens its campaign. Powered by Renault's historic backbone, the team pushes to prove that persistence eventually bends results their way. Red Bull's influence stretched deeper into the grid. Visa Cash App RB, reborn from AlphaTauri, now refines the next wave of challengers inside Red Bull's championship machine. Lower on the grid, but no less determined, Haas endures. The team is an independent fighter among giants, which survives where many others collapse. Others prepare for bigger transformations ahead. Kick Sauber lays the foundation before Audi's official arrival reshapes expectations in 2026. Yet change is not confined to those already inside the paddock. Cadillac's partnership with Andretti signals new forces entering Formula One's protected world. If successful, their arrival will expand the grid to 11 teams, something unseen in modern times. Beneath polished liveries and corporate sponsors, every team fights a quieter battle invisible to spectators. That battle includes weight savings, shaved in grams, aerodynamic edges refined at midnight, and race strategies built lap by lap in silence. Championships are rarely lost by speed alone. Most seasons are decided by endurance and adaptability. In the unforgiving F1 world, no team stays invincible forever. Innovation fades, rivals catch up, and every dynasty ends unless the next breakthrough arrives before the rest. And perhaps this truth tightly binds Ferrari, McLaren, Williams, Mercedes, Red Bull, and every challenger rising beneath them. The speed you've seen is only the beginning, and the stories you've heard barely scratch the surface. The F1 world is ever dynamic. The next race, the next rivalry, the next legend, they all await those ready to chase them. Stay locked in and subscribe for more updates, breakdowns, and everything F1.